Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Through this video, you can note down and quickly understand the notes of class 6 history lesson 3 in the earliest cities, and the book is of Ncert. So let's begin with some important points. So first one is here important cities of Indus Valley civilization about which we will be talking in this chapter. Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, Kalibangan, Dholavira, they are very important. And these other important points are also important. Carnelian is a beautiful red stone. Often it comes as a one marker. Let's move ahead with question and answers. How do archaeologists know that cloth was used in Harappan civilization? So actual pieces of cloth were found attached to the lid of a silver vase. So archaeologists found a silver vase and some common objects, and they found a cloth piece was attached to it. Then they also found some spindle whorls. So which means spindle whorls are used to spin the yarn. So that is why they were able to find out that cloth piece was used during Harappan civilization. Then what are raw materials? From where did Harappans get the raw materials? Raw material is anything that is processed to form a finished good. So they were brought from, like copper was brought from Rajasthan and Oman, tin came from Afghanistan and Iran, gold came from Karnataka, precious stones came from Iran, Gujarat and Afghanistan. Next question. Why were metals, writing, the wheel and the plow important for Harappans? So metals, they were used for making tools and ornaments. Writing was for communication purpose. Wheel was used for pottery, for making pots and for making carts used for traveling. And plow, it was used for farming purpose. Then next question, question 4, write main features of town planning of Harappan civilization. So there are lots of features. First of all, the grid pattern. Harappan cities followed grid pattern, which means network of parallel lines. Then fortification, which means cities were surrounded by protective walls. Then baked bricks were used, and that too in interlocking pattern. Multi-story buildings were there, and each house had a bathing area as well as a courtyard. Then great bath, this comes as a one marker, also extremely important. It was a special tank for bathing which was built in Mohenjo-daro. It comes in competitive exams also. Granaries, these were the storehouses of food grains. So food grains were kept in these storehouses. Then plant drainage system. So drains were found, they were covered and they were laid in a straight line. Each house had a drainage system connected to the drain outside the city. Each drain had a gentle slope. So all this was found by archaeologists. Next question. Write a short note on economic life of Harappan people. So agriculture was their main occupation. They grew barley and wheat. They had canal irrigation. They traded in precious stones and other metals. And there were craft persons and artisans who worked at special workshops like bead making. And they started growing cotton and wore cotton clothes as well. Now describe Harappan seal and sealing. Sixth question. Harappan seals may have been used to stamp bags or packets containing goods that was sent from one place to another, just the way seals are used even today. After the bag was closed, a layer of wet clay was applied on the knot and the seal was pressed on it. The impression of seal is known as sealing. How did Harappan civilization come to an end? So there is no fixed reason that we have for it today, where there's no surety, but there are some probable causes, reasons. Maybe the rivers would have dried up, so people shifted somewhere, or maybe there were natural disasters like flood occurred, or due to large scale deforestation, so the civilization came to an end. What are pyramids? Around 5,000 years ago, kings ruling over Egypt built huge tombs known as pyramids. When they died, the dead bodies of kings were preserved and buried with other objects like food, clothes, gold, etc. Because it was believed that after death, people will be needing these objects. And these carefully preserved bodies were called as mummies. Sometimes even servants of the dead person were buried with them, with the perception that dead people will be needing them after their death. How do you think life of people in Harappan city different from each other? Was different from each other. Was will come here. Rulers. So, what was their work? They planned cities. They sent people to distant lands to get metals and precious stones. And they may have kept most valuable objects like gold and silver. Then there were scribes. These are the people who knew how to write and prepare seals. So they were used for writing purpose. Then there were craft persons who made all kinds of things like beads, bricks or jewelry, etc. And then there were farmers and herders. For farmers grew crops like wheat, barley, pulses, and herders collected fruits, caught fish, reared animals. What do you understand by the term citadel? Most of the Harappan cities were divided into two or more parts. The part to the west was smaller but higher and was called citadel. Example, Mohenjo-daro was constructed on citadel. So the part of the west was smaller but higher. Generally, the part to the east was larger but lower. This is called lower town. And the last portion is map work. These are the points which should be marked on map. And for map work, I've created a separate video. The entire map work related to the entire syllabus of geography is given over there. That means history maps, geography maps, all are in that video. So go through that for doing the map work. So that is it. In case you like the notes, please share them. In case you find any mistake, let me know. Thank you so much.